Hi, this is Aldwin. I'm of the SeAHABS Dev team, and welcome again to the SeAHABS Training Course I. Today, we'll be talking about the Cushare tools of the SeAHABS Viewer, or the customization and sharing tools. The Cushare consists of the following tools: the Add Data tool, the Basemap Gallery tool, the Print tool, and the Share tool. The Add Data tool allows user to add data to the SeAHABS Viewer map by either searching for data layers from ArcGIS online catalog, entering a URL, or adding or uploading a local file or your personal files. The ArcGIS Online Catalog is a repository of both organizational data and public data. Organizational data requires authentication or a logged-in username and password. If you are a member of those organizations, then you can access their data. However, there are several public data available to be used freely, and some of this data we'll be using in this demonstration. If you're adding data using the URL, the following are the only supported type of URL services. Special web services available, such as an ArcGIS server web service, a WMS OGC web service, a WFS OGC web service, a KML file, a GURSS file, or a CSV file. If you're using CSV file, make sure that you're using the same projection as the SeAHABS Viewer. You can also check on examples of this type of special web services by clicking these sample URLs. For example, for ArcGIS server web service, these are some of the examples. So we have your World Cities feature service, you have a USA map server, and then vegetation analysis from Landsat. So those are the available web services under the ArcGIS. And then for WMS OGC web service, we have the following. So you can explore these samples on your own. But today we'll not be using URL to add data. For uploading files, or personal files or organizational files, the Add Data tool will accept only data with the following format: shapefile, CSV file, KML, JPX, and JSON. So shapefile, CSV, and JSON are common data formats of spatial data, whether it's scientific or non-scientific data, while JPX is the data format that you can download from your GPS. So all those routes, waypoints that you added during your trip or field work could be added in this SeAHABS Viewer. So let's start customizing a map. So as you can remember, we have a site of interest in the previous session, which is Manila Bay. And we have specially bookmarked it using the special bookmark tool. So look for the special bookmark, then click on it, then you can see the specially bookmarked or special bookmark thumbnail of Manila Bay. Click on it to locate the Manila Bay. So this is Manila Bay and its vicinity. And the before Shellfish Bulletin number 22 to 25, dated October 19, November 9, 2020, identified the coastal town of Maribeles, Limay, Orion, Pilar, Balanga City, Abukay, Samal, Orani, and Hermosa to be positive of the red tide toxin. So in the previous session, we've explored SeAHABS data on this area. So we tried to explore data a month before October 19. The reason behind that is the difference between the basis for declaring a shellfish ban and for the detection of potential bloom by the SeAHABS. The shellfish ban is based on toxin levels, while the SeAHABS model, particularly the chlorophyll anomaly, detects algal blooms by using positive anomaly. And positive anomaly is an indicator of a potential bloom or a presence of a bloom of a phytoplankton, and not necessarily the presence of a toxin. So you can find some gaps as you observe on your second exercise between the Shellfish Bulletin declaration and the data that you can find on the SeAHABS Viewer. Some of the anomalies are usually present weeks before the declaration, ranging from 1 week to almost a month. So in the previous exercise, you choose a particular coastal town among those mentioned coastal town of Bataan for your exercises. For today, I'll be using Limay Bataan as an example. In the previous session, we found out that September 20, October 28, and November 3 are the 3 dates that we found available pixel data for the site of Limay. However, we found out using the attribute table. Sorry, that's not November 3, November 5. For November 5, we found out that most of the data available for Limay Bataan are mostly negative values. So we ignored this data because the assumption for the bloom detection is anything that is positive or above 0 would be an indicator of possible algal bloom. Then we checked also October 28, 2020, and the same condition, mostly are negative values. So we'll just focus on September 20, 2020. This data. So depending on your site, you can just use the search bar to focus more on the coastal town that you are exploring right now. Right now, we're exploring the town of Limay Bataan. So this Limay Bataan. The September 2020 data is already activated. So as you can see in the map, these red dots indicate positive anomaly, and the blue ones are negative anomalies. And we've explored these values already in the exercise. The next step that we will do is to add data. So to know the boundaries of Limay Bataan from the other coastal towns, we need an administrative boundary map. And the ArcGIS Online provides capability to search for such. So we'll be using GADM data. So GADM is the database of global administrative areas. It is said to be a high-resolution database of country administrative areas with the goal of all countries at all levels at any time period. Database is available in a few export formats like shapefiles, which is commonly used for GIS and other languages. And JDM is is not freely available for commercial use. JDM project created the spatial data for many countries from spatial databases provided by either national government, NGO, and or from maps and lists of names available on the internet. For example, from Wikipedia. And this JDM map can be downloaded in several sites such as the PhilGIS data repository. We also have for the Diva GIS repository, the Diva GIS. So for now, we will search JDM Philippines in the ArcGIS online catalog. So you just need to click Add, and then on the search tab, type JDM Philippines in the search bar. Then press enter or click this magnifying lens icon. So the tool will present you different forms of JDM map produced or modified by several individuals or organizations. But for this session, I'll be using this Administrative Divisions of the Philippines, which is a feature service by Kira Standby Task Force. So the reason why I'll be using this one compared to the other available JDM data, as you can see for this MNA HARO USAID feature service, the boundaries are separated different levels, level 1, level 2. By the way, JDM has different levels, level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 0 is the country level. That means that the administrative boundaries of each country. The level 1 or the first level is the province level, meaning these are the provincial administrative boundaries of each country. And then level 2 is the municipal or city administrative boundaries. And level 3 is the villages or barangay administrative boundary. Okay, let's repeat. Level 0 is country level. Level 1 is province level. Level 2 is municipal or city boundaries. And level 3 is barangay boundaries. So, in this search list, some of them are shown separately, like this one provided by MNA HARO of USAID project. These are the level 2 and level 1, and some of them are just showing for some particular area. So in the thumbnail, you can see the available data. For example, this administrative boundary 2, you can see the black part, so it's covering the entire country, as compared to this Philippine neighborhood that it's covering only few parts of the country. And then some of the data available, it's either it's corrupted or they don't have available thumbnail. And these administrative divisions of the Philippines by Kira Standby Force contain all the levels of JDM data from level 0 to level 3. So that would be your country level, provincial level, your municipal or city level, and your barangay level. So to add this to the map, you just need to click the add. If you want to look on the details, you just need to click the details. So if you click the details to know more of the metadata or the data of the data, you will ask to log on to the ArcGIS online catalog. And you can choose to use, if you have a GitHub account, Facebook account, or Google account, or maybe an Apple to sign in. If you use the Google or your Gmail account, you just need to log in your email address and your password, and then it will direct you to the metadata of the file. Otherwise, let's proceed to adding this data. So you can add this data by clicking the add button on this data layer. Once you click the add button, we'll start adding it to the SeAHABS Viewer. As you can see on the display, I'll zoom out that we have several layers of data. So you might be interested on what are those data, and you can check it by clicking this layer button in the lower right corner of the add data tool. So these are the data layers that has been added. You have your Philippine admin map level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3. So I've said this is the country level, this is the provincial level, and your admin 2 is municipal and city level, and your barangay level. For this demonstration, I will not be using admin map level 0 and level 1. The reason for that is I'm already working within the Philippine territory, so I don't need to show that this is the Philippines, because it could be shown on the map itself already. So I need to remove some of the data layers. You can just use this trash bin, okay, to remove those layers, like level 0, and level 1. Level 1 is the provincial level. There. So right now we only have added two data layers. So you just click back, or you can minimize the add data tool and look on this data layer list. In this data layer list, you can see the two data already added on the map, or level 2 and level 3. For this customization of the map, I'll be doing different filtering methods to produce just the boundary of Limay, okay, since that's the area of interest, Limay, Bataan, and those 9 coastal towns that are affected by the red tide toxic. So to do that, we need to put Philippine admin 3 on top of admin 2, because how GIS works is it's just like a set of transparencies. So on top of each other, that means the topmost transparency or topmost layer is the one that is more visible than the layers beneath. So to do that, just need to click this 3 dots icon beside the data layer of admin 3, and you can either move it down or up. So for this case, it would be move up. If you're moving the admin 2, then you can just move it down. So we're moving up the admin level 3 there. So as you can see, it's more refined admin boundary than the level 2. So to see the contents of these maps, we can browse on the attribute table. And to view the attribute table of these data layers, just need to click again this 3 dot icon and click view in attribute table, and the attribute table will pop up. So that's for level 3 and then for level 2 also. There. So for level 2, for example, as you can see here, the different level. Level 0 would be the country level, which is the Philippines. Name 1, which is name 0. Name 1 or level 1 is the municipal or city boundaries. Provincial boundaries. So your Bataan, Bulacan, etc. So right now, the only data that you can see here is only 71 features, because we have filtered the attribute table by the map extent. So anything that you can see on the current map extent will be shown in this attribute table, and the rest of the country is filtered out. And then level 2 or name 2 is the municipal or city level. Okay. So those are the things that you need to remember. Name 0, country. Name 1 is province. Name 2 is the municipal or cities. And then for level 3, it's the same convention. Name 0 is country. Name 1 is province. Name 2 is municipal and cities. And name 3 would be the barangay or village level. So first we need to filter this barangay level, because we're only interested with Limay Bataan, and we want to show the different barangays of Limay Bataan. To do that, you just need to click the options button on top of your attribute table, then click filter. So in the admin level 3, we need to add an expression, or maybe a set of expression, or add an expression. Either of the two will do. So what we're gonna do is we're just interested with Bataan province. So for Bataan province, that is level 1. Okay, so we need to put name 1. Okay, for that we need to select name 1 on the attribute list. Name 1, and then the operator would be is. Then we just need to type Bataan. Okay, or you have an option also to use the unique values by clicking this gear icon and selecting the input type unique. And then if you can see, it will be listed as empty. But if you click the drop down menu, you can see the different list of provinces, and you can just type in Bataan in the search bar, and then click Bataan. Then you need to add another expression if you've used add expression. If you've used add set, then there would be two expression per set already on the expression toolbar. So in the second expression, we're interested with Limay Bataan. So to filter that out, we need to select name 2 or the municipal or city level, and then the operator is east, and then here we can just click unique, and then click on the drop down menu and type in Limay, and then select Limay. So this expression said here, display features in the layer that match all of the following expressions. That means that this the filter function will select data in the attribute table that are within Bataan, that are within Bataan province, and at the same time only Limay. So if you click this OK button, you can see on the map that all the other municipalities are now gone. And in the attribute table, you can see attribute table level 3, you can only see the different barangays of Limay Bataan. In the map, this would be the red polygons. These are the different barangays of Limay. And you can explore it by clicking each of the polygon, and you can see the different name tree, which is the name of the barangay. Okay, next, we will processing the admin level 2. So, we want to produce a map showing Limay Bataan and only those towns in Bataan that has shellfish ban based on the PPR Shellfish Bulletin for that specific period. And to do that, again, we will use the filter function of the attribute table. Then, for this filter function exercise, I'll be adding 9 sets of expression because we have 9 towns or city in the list of the Shellfish Bulletin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9. So on each set of expression, there are 2 expressions. So we'll do the same thing as we did a while ago. So we have name 1, identify Bataan, and then we have name 2 to identify the town or municipality or the cities. So in this case, that would be Maribeles. Make sure that you enter the right spelling. Maribeles, and then next we have Limay. Here, name 1, Bataan. And do the rest for the other municipalities. So, Limay, we have another reminder. If you're using different data sets such as JDM, you need to check on the content of your data, particularly on the attribute table. For example, for Balanga, if you're gonna enter Balanga here, okay, I'll just show you. Okay, for Balanga, it's not just Balanga, but you need to type in Balanga City. You can also see on the attribute table that Balanga is indicated as Balanga City. Okay. Otherwise, if you put Balanga, then it will not be selected and it will be filtered out because there's no balanga in that entry of name 2. There's no records in name 2 with just balanga, so it should be balanga C. So if you entered a value that is not valid, the value bar will turn red and with an exclamation mark on the bar. So you need to check on the spelling. For this one, I committed a mistake. Instead of M, I typed in N. So I'll change it. Hermosa. Hermosa. Oh, sorry. Because I've selected the wrong attribute. Name. Last one is the town of or municipality SeAHABS. Okay, so you just need to check that we entered the right attributes and the right name of provinces and towns. So we have Samal, Abukay, Expel. For each set of filter, we have different selections. We can set the different conditions, but in our case, we want the filter function to select all of the following expressions in the set are true. So that means that as long as the record is within Bataan and in Maribeles, then it's true. Otherwise, it will be filtered out. The same goes with the other set. Now, since we have different sets, we can define this the features in the layer that an overall condition for all the sets. So we have two options: either display features in the layer that match all of the following expressions, or display features in the layer that match any of the following expressions. What's the difference between the two? The first one, that means that the for the record to be included on the list, it should have all of these expressions. True. That means that it should be in Bataan, Maribeles, it's also Limay, it's also Abukay, etc. So that is not the condition that we want. So we want that the display features in the layer that match any of the following expressions. That means that the filter function will select records that are in Maribeles, Limay, etc. Okay, so there. Then we need to click OK. Now we will zoom out on the map. You can see that all the other municipalities and cities has been removed or filtered out in the display, and you can only see the 9 municipalities of Bataan. And then we have also filtered the different barangays. So this is what your map will look like after doing those filter function. Now we have the Limay as our site of interest and the 9 municipalities or cities of Bataan that are under the Shellfish Bulletin or positive for toxins on those period from October 19 to November 9. Okay, the next thing that we can do is to add a different set of data. And in this case, it could be the data that we produce on a previous exercise in the exercise. So we just need to add file, or you can add any of your personal data file, but in this case, we'll be using that data. And to use this tool, you can either drag and drop the data here, or you can just browse it. You can browse it, it will be like this. So click browse and then locate the data. In this case, this is your SeAHABS for validation, September 20, 2020. So this is our potential bloom that might have caused incident. Red tide toxins. Okay, so then you click open. So once you click open, it will process it immediately and add the data points on the map. So as you can see in the display, we have this 4 dots, 2 on this area and another on this area. So we can click on the data layer and you can see it's already added. Okay, some tips. If you're gonna use your personal data or any data from the R catalog, or the one for the R catalog, you cannot change anything in terms of display and the name. The same way goes with the additional data that you add on. However, the add data tool makes use of the file name, that file name of the data. So if you want to have a shorter name on the legend later on, you can just modify the file name before adding it on the SeAHABS Viewer. And there you go. So right now we have our own data, and we also have your data of SeAHABS and data from ArcGIS Online Catalog. Okay, so now we have customized a little bit the SeAHABS Viewer map already. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we need to add in some additional features or layers by using some of the ESpaDA tools or the exploratory spatial data analysis tools of SeAHABS Viewer, which is the distance and direction. So just need to click distance and direction. Okay, the purpose of this part is for us to simulate what we did on the incident analysis tool of the SeAHABS Viewer, wherein we indicated a buffer of 15 kilometers from the site of interest. In our case, that would be the port of Lamau. By the way, before modifying and before adding those features, you can also modify, forgot to tell you that you can also modify the transparency of this data layer. So for example, for administrative boundary tree, just need to click on the three dot icons and then click transparency, and we can set it to about 50 to 60 depending on your liking or preference. And then for admin boundary 2, the same thing. So we need to set it to 50. So as you can see, the appearance on the display somewhat different now. We can still see the boundaries as indicated by these translucent colors, and we can see also the features or the actual imagery beneath it. So then we just need to use the distance and direction, and then to do that buffer, we can use the rings function function of the distance and direction too. So under the ring, there are different types of putting on a buffer. So we have interactive. So in interactive, it's up to you to control how big the buffer is. Or if you're gonna put a fixed one, for the fixed one, it will follow this one. So we have distance between rings. So you will create a number of, for example, number of rings are 5 and 1000. So once you identify the center point or the origin, that means that it will create a buffer, 5 buffers with an interval of 1 kilometer, okay, or 1000. So we can change. That means that 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, 4 kilometer, and 5 kilometer from the center of origin or center point. And then we have your origin. So in this origin, you can modify the buffer by indicating the different distance interval for each of these buffer rings. And the last one would be your cumulative. Okay, so that would be adding one buffer to another. In this exercise or in this demonstration, I'll be using the origin. Okay, so the origin, that means that I'll be pointing out the center point and identifying the interval that I want. So you have your origin, and I want to indicate different distances here. So before changing that, we need to select the distance units to kilometers. And then in this enter value bar, you need to enter, for example, 1 kilometer, then click the add distance or plus sign. So 1 is already included, and then we need to enter 5 kilometer, and then 10 kilometer, and then we have your 15 kilometer. So this means that the buffer rings will have an interval from the origin of 1 kilometer. The second ring would be 5 kilometer. The third ring would be 10 kilometer, and the fourth ring would be 15 kilometer. And now we can set the center point or the origin. So it's either you have your actual coordinates of the center point, or you can just interactively add the point in the map. So we will interactively add it by clicking this marker icon or button. And then we need to locate the Lamao port area. So the Lamao port area is just beneath this Petron facility. So this Petron, and this is the small village of or barangay of Lamao. So we have this port here. As you can see, there's this blue structure, blue roof of the structure, and this is the port. So we'll assign this as our center point. So center point is over here. So what's the reason behind this? Why we are doing this one? Because we're doing this because we want to produce a map that we can use for as a guide for validation. I mean, if you want to validate some data, anomaly data, and then you can just do these maps, or you can also do this for your monitoring. That depends on the purpose. So if your purpose is for monitoring, then you just need to add your monitoring station here, and then you have this data on the other data you want to add on, and then you can also put here your area of stations. I mean, where the team will be coming from, etc. And you can also put some other structures like mariculture, etc. So to do that, you can, if you don't have those data, you can do that in Google Earth. So produce a KML there of you can digitize some of your structures like mariculture areas, etc. The Google Earth, save it as a KML, then import it to the SeAHABS Viewer using the add data file tool. So for now, we'll add this center point. So we have assigned that as a center point. Okay, so we just need to zoom out a bit. Okay. So this is the center point, which is the port of Lamao. And then the tool added already the coordinates of this port here. It's 14.5 north and 120.61 east. Then after that, we just need to click the OK. So to produce the buffer. So once we click the OK, the SeAHABS Viewer will process it and will produce these concentric buffer rings. So if you're gonna zoom in to this buffer, you can see there are some labels of 1 kilometer. You have 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer, and the last one would be 15 kilometer. And as you can see, it almost replicates what we did in the incident analysis. So we have a buffer of 15 kilometer showing this data, these 4 positive anomalies within the 15 kilometer radius of Port of Lamao. Then we can just close this distance and direction tool. Here. So as you can see that the labels of the buffer rings are not that legible, or actually not legible, because it's color black. And the background or the base map of this SeAHABS Viewer is also dark. Now we can customize that by using the Basemap gallery tool. Okay, so this can solve that issue or concern. So this SeAHABS Viewer uses the imagery hybrid as the default basemap. So the Basemap gallery tool shows you different collections of curated basemap that you can choose from to modify the look and feel of your map, whether it is for display or for printing. Okay, so this is just temporary, meaning that once you refresh this browser or close this browser and access again the SeAHABS Viewer, these changes, the buffer and the data, and also this base map that we change, and this customization will be gone or removed. So these are all just temporary display of this changes and data to compose our map. So you can explore different different base map on the Basemap gallery, like this chartered territory, but we're not interested with this chartered territory because it will be flattering our map with other country boundary, or actually you can use it if you want to. So you have your country boundary, you have your colored pencil. You also have your community map, base map. Okay, just click on this selections of base map on the Basemap gallery, and it will be activated. Right there. So you can explore as long as you want. For now, I'll be using this mid-century map. Now, as you can see, all the labels and the features of that we added on the SeAHABS Viewer are now visible. So all the labels, that data, and also the data points that we have added are now all visible. So now, this is your ways of customizing maps on the SeAHABS Viewer using those tools. You can add more features or details on your map if you want. You can add distances by drawing a line, etc. So, but for now, I'm satisfied with this map already for this demonstration, and this map is now ready for sharing or printing. Now you've learned how to use the Cushare tools to customize your maps before printing or sharing it. On the next session, you'll learn how to print and share your maps using the SeAHABS Viewer. If you have any questions or clarifications, feel free to post under the Stream tab or Freedom wall of our Google Classroom. Keep exploring, navigating, and sharing the SeAHABS Viewer. See you in the next session.